Yo, peace. Peace to my divine infinite consciousness and peace to my divine infinite self in all realms and realities. Yo, 85% of the men who watch porn are gay. Yeah, I had to say that because damn near 85% of the men is growing up without fathers and uncles and guidance. So when they grow up with male cousins, certain situations happen that the mother lets slide. Now, this is not to say you're a bad person if you partook in certain situations where you're dealing with self-equality or sex, or just starting early, touching, experiencing, and things of that nature. However, when it starts to escalate more in your growner states, this is where you have to use discernment, have integrity, morale. If these things develop, we'll see if you have the chosen gene of the Most High at this point, being able to have discernment or having wisdom, or just being ignorant, meaning that you know better, but you just said fuck it and just go ahead and go against the grain. Now, being gay, basically liking another man, liking another masculine energy, if you are a masculine energy yourself. Necessarily, you don't have to be a masculine energy in a masculine body. You can be a feminine energy in a masculine body. A feminine energy that is going opposite, not a feminine energy that is creative, but one who's going opposite of being a over-sexualized black male or male in general. Now, no fap, no porn, basically semen retention, all play a role along with the diet and the eating. Now, for 85% of the men who is watching other divine eyes, or we say dicks, which is crazy because you're watching it go in and out of other females, different kinds. You have your preferences. You're watching beings. You're subjecting and objectifying beings. You don't be able to see clearly the human for what they is. So therefore, your judgment is going to be cloudy, and you're going to be recommended within your own self to just experiment and be what they say free. So like, come out of the closet. There ain't no such thing as a closet. Everything is and was and shall be. This is how it always been. So original man, black man, it's already been in you. You have mastered this so long ago. You have mastered your whole being. These beings that's on earth right now, they haven't mastered that. So therefore, being that they're in rule, they're allowing it to be okay due to the fact that they have certain rulers who are transgender in the first place. And once you start going against the grain, you start producing lies. Lies can exist for a time. The truth is always the underline, yet it can be covered up. So you got to use refinement in order to find the truth, which is getting rid of the trash and filth. However, they both have a time to play. We just now distinct what is truth and what is false, even though they have their equal time of existing. So it goes with what you want to experience and how to better yourself. And if you want to experience it, then you are going with the desire instead of just needing to experience certain things. The Most High really don't allow you to experience the full Monty of it unless you are just like, hey, ignorant, and just that gene that is going to be the opposing one against the righteous ones who know and understand discernment. Now, being that the original people were exposed to the so-called gay situations, which when they were on plantations, they were actually getting raped, and at young ages, male and female, by a older white male. Now you got to look at this situation, even though you don't even have empathy to see it, some of you, but just look at it. Some people have to be placed in the situation in order to understand it. Some people are blessed enough to have empathy to see it without even having to go through that experience, but can experience it through your feeling. That is a great ripened fruit right there. It's not really good and evil. It's just ripe and unripened. So as time goes, yeah, the soul gets higher and higher. But however, it's all by choice. If it's down so long, it's going to be like, hey, I want to gut up. I want to go up. But dealing with the gay situation, if you allow yourself to go further and further, then before you know it, you be so deep in yourself that it'd be so hard for you to get back up. You'd be like at a sub-level. You're not even on Earth no more. You're at a sub-level Earth. You're not even striving to get up. And you're thinking that you're in a freer level, but you're going the opposite direction, which is more down. And before you realize, you'll be stuck to Earth. And this is where transition comes in at. You have certain spirits who partake in sexual gratification with mortals who haven't even died yet. Inspired mortals will do sexual things that are just self-gratificatory. Just made that word up. So they will get these mortals to do all kind of just weird things. When you say weird, it's not really weird if you experience it, because once you get out of it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that shit was weird, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it is something far off of the track. And we all know that a train, which is you, stays on track. You train yourself to stay on track, which is the labyrinth, the life, the path of life. However, you do get the understanding, because curiosity, they say, killed the cat, and satisfaction brought him back. See? So you have to be real with yourself. A lot of individuals are not real with themselves. They're not really in tune with who they truly are. And if they accept themselves for who they are, or accept the gene for what it is, then they can know how to differentiate themselves, the light body, from the gene. Some individuals have hard genes to fill. Some individuals got, cool genes. This is dealing with the light now. Like your birth chart, dealing with grand trines and whatnot, and finding out what is your path and your labyrinth in your own self. It's already given to you. But these beings came here and they were, manifested, and they basically taught you to hate yourself by gaslighting and projecting insecurities that they have onto you. And they carried it out full Monty. But the original people, they already went through it. But the world has to see it in a psychological activation of what's going down. Like, the low end and then the mastering of it, and creating a culture out of it, a way of life. So if you want to ascend and get higher in yourself, you gotta leave the porn alone. If you want to ascend and get higher within yourself, you gotta be at one with yourself. Being able to sit down and do the knowledge and listen to the world, which is the actual nature, and see that the root of nature is dealing with nurturing. It's not dealing with killing and murdering and sex and all of that like the National Geographic wants you to see. Because all you see on National Geographic is predators eating other individuals. Mating seasons. Instead of just seeing how knowledge is acquired, how wisdom is obtained, and how the understanding is there in the best part. They don't show you that, but only in the rare instances where they want to show you the teamwork of different animals, like mammals, cornering fish, just a lot of little things. Now, being gay is basically describing you being ass backwards. You doing things the opposite. Like, no matter what the fuck you do, it's always gonna be ass backwards. Like goddamn, you just can't get right. Nigga, that's gay. That's what gay is. Now, if you're dealing with self-equality, some people say happy and all that shit with gay, but if you're dealing with self-equality, then you're allowing yourself to go against the grain. Now, sometimes a man can be very, very sexual without even being sexual. Have a high Kundalini energy without even trying, and he's not attracted to men at all. But men are attracted to him. The masculine of men are attracted to the feminine nature of man and him. So it's a tricky thing. That's why it's up to each individual to master their own being, so you can keep the even playing field, so you don't have to be. Because if the black man was raped and maimed, and all of this is in his gene now, who's taught to eat the wrong foods, he didn't even eat no fucking swine, no spam, or no shit like that. They forced this shit on him because he didn't eat nothing else. He couldn't get the crops that he grew. He couldn't even fucking get none of the chickens that was his. They gave him the guts. Come on, this was passed down genetically. So just imagine what's passed down genetically on the grafted people, or the white people, the Caucasian people side, besides money being passed down genetically. You know what I'm saying? Generationally. Genetically, they watched and did this. And so continuously, this is what's been happening as the generations go on. Before you know it, black man, you sitting there watching all the porn. We know the truth, and we love to make love to our women, but now the world is starting to see that as well. We don't really make women subjected to us. We love to make love to them because we already reached a point ourselves that we know and understand what love is. But when you go down and be in a low vibration, they actually they figured out a way to get you to have sex with their women so that you can lose yourself in their women. At first, they didn't want you to do it, but now they're like, damn, yeah, we want you to do it now. And she's good at it. We see her lower self. Her lower self will do this. Even have sex with animals. We know that because they got video of it. As a culture, as a world, as a race, we got to look at it that way. Because, yeah, we are together, but no, nigga, we all have different countries and different races. And the only ones that was mixed up is the original people, black people of America, or the so-called slave niggas who don't have no kind of so-called origin in the world. But, yeah, everybody wants to be like them. So you have to understand, these, we can say, narcissistic entities, or cluster B personality disorder entities, or psychopathic entities who are unleashed onto empaths, ones who would love to help them, know that something was wrong with them. It wasn't that we didn't see nothing was wrong with them. We knew something was very fucked up with them. And if we don't hear it or fix them, we're gonna be like them. So we had to learn a valuable lesson about ourselves that we had to master within our own being. This is why it's important to leave the porn alone, because you will become, yes, gay, because sex will be nothing to you. Having sex with a woman will be nothing. You'll see her in all form of ways, just like subjected in all kind of ways. She can have multiple orgasms, man. You cannot keep up with that. You don't have enough energy to do that. She's with the board. Your energy has to be created within you. It takes time, as everything takes time. So yeah, it starts with dropping that, eating the right foods, and keeping your semen retention. Wherever your attention goes is where the power and the energy goes. So make it go back in yourself, man. Instead of just being into people and the beings that they don't even see you and you're just into them. All right? More love, light, and I'll be with you in the next vid. Peace.